Welcome to a slow, beginner-friendly lesson on what objects are in Python, made for absolute beginners. Objects, gently. Today we meet a word you will hear often, object. In Python, almost everything is an object, numbers, strings, lists, even functions. But what does that actually mean for a beginner? An object is simply a value that carries things attached to it, data it knows, and tools it can use. We keep it gentle here, no classes, no theory, just the practical idea. By the end, the word object should feel ordinary, not scary. Not scary, just practical. You learned modules, files of code you import. Now we zoom in on the values themselves. In Python, a value like a string or a number is more than just data. It is an object, a value that carries things attached to it. This is not advanced object-oriented programming. It is a practical observation. Values in Python can do things, and today we learn how to see that. From libraries to values, numbers, strings, lists, functions, they are all objects. Same rule, always. Same rule, always. Here is the idea. Take the number 42. In Python, it is an object. The string hello, also an object. A list of 1, 2, also an object. An object is a value with things attached. The attached data are called attributes, things the object knows. The attached tools are called methods, things the object can do. You reach both with the dot. We will keep this very practical. Value plus attachments. Every object has a type. Type of 42 is int, a whole number. Type of hello is str, text. Type of a list is list. The type tells you what kind of object you have, and what tools are attached to it. You already know these types from earlier lessons. Now you know the word for what they are objects, and their type tells you which tools they carry. Type tells the kind. Here is a taste of what objects can do. The string hello has a tool called upper attached to it. Hello.upper gives back hello, all capitals. Hello.capitalize gives back hello with a capital H. The string is the object. Upper and capitalize are methods, tools attached to the string. You reach them with the dot. We will explore this carefully in the next lessons. A taste of the dot. An object is a value that carries its own tools. The dot is how you reach them. The dot reaches them. An object carries two kinds of attachments. Attributes are data the object knows, like a value stored inside it. Methods are tools the object can run, like a function attached to it. You reach both with the dot. The difference, methods need parentheses because you are calling them. Attributes do not, because they are values, not calls. You already saw this with math.py, a value, and math.sqrt, a call. Data versus action. Here is the difference in code. Math.py is an attribute, a value stored in the math module. No parentheses. Math.sqrt is a method, a function attached to math. Parentheses required. The dot reaches both, but py gives you a number, while sqrt does work and gives you a result. Attribute is data, method is action. Both live behind the dot. No parentheses for values. Even a function is an object. Define greet. Type of greet is function. Yes, functions have a type too. Greet has attributes attached to it, like _name, which gives back the string greet. So the thing you have been writing, def, creates an object. The function object carries its own data. This is what we mean when we say everything in Python is an object. Even functions are objects. Every object has a type. The type tells you what tools the object can use. Type decides the tools. Think of an object as a box. Inside the box is a value, the number 42, or the string hello. Attached to the box are labels, attributes that hold data, and methods that hold tools. The type of the object determines which labels are attached. An int has certain tools, a string has others. The dot opens the box and reaches a specific label by name. Every object works this way. A box with labels. Dir of a string shows you every tool attached to it. Capitalize, lower, upper, strip, replace, split, join, these are methods, ready to use. The names with double underscores are internals, skip those. The plain names are the tools you can call. A string carries dozens of methods. You do not need to learn them all today, just notice that the object comes with tools attached. Ask what it can do. Assign the string eta to a variable called name. Now name.upper gives back eta. Name.replace, with arguments a and o, gives back oto. You are calling methods on the object. The object is the string, the method is a tool attached to it. The dot reaches the tool, the parentheses call it, the arguments go inside the parentheses. Same pattern every time. Dot, name, parentheses. Objects are not advanced. They are just values with tools attached. No rush, no theory. Why does this matter practically? Because once you know objects carry tools, you stop memorizing separate functions and start asking the object directly. Want to know what a string can do? Dir of a string. Want to know what a list can do? Dir of a list. The object tells you its own capabilities. This is more powerful than memorizing a function list. Dot notation is everywhere in Python. You will see it in every library, every example, every project. Practical payoff. Let me reassure you. Objects are not an advanced topic in Python, they are everyday Python. You do not need to learn classes or object-oriented programming theory to use methods. You just need to know, a value can have tools attached, and the dot reaches them. That is the whole idea for now. Classes come much later, if ever. The dot is what matters today. Everyday Python. Because a method returns a new object, you can chain calls. The string with spaces around hello, strip removes the spaces and returns hello. Then upper on that result gives hello. Read left to right, strip first, upper second. Or, Ada Lovelace, replace spaces with underscores, then upper, gives back Ada underscore Lovelace. Chaining is just calling methods on the results of other methods. You will see this pattern often. Read left to right. Next we look at the dot itself, attributes and methods, carefully explained. Toward the dot, quick self-check. Can you explain in one sentence what an object is? Can you name the two kinds of attachments, attributes and methods? Can you use type to see what kind of object a value is? Can you explain what the dot does? If any feels shaky, rewatch that part. Objects are not going away, they are Python itself. Say each out loud. Everything in Python is an object. An object is a value that carries attributes, data it knows, and methods, tools it can run. You reach both with the dot. Type tells you what kind of object you have and which tools are attached. That is the whole idea. No classes, no theory, just values with tools, reached by name. 4 lines. Next lesson we slow down on the dot itself. What is an attribute, exactly? What is a method? How do you tell them apart? How do you read dot notation out loud? Many small examples, one new idea at a time. The dot is the most common thing you will type in Python, so we give it its own careful lesson. The dot, demystified. If you want a quick practice, try 3 objects. Type of 42, int. Hello.upper, hello. A list with append, you will meet list methods later, but notice the same dot pattern. 3 different types, the same dot. When that pattern feels natural, you have understood objects. The rest is just learning which methods each type carries. 3 objects, 1 pattern. Thanks for meeting objects with me. See you in the next lesson on attributes and methods. Objects are Python.